slowly rolls out of a hangar in China. This isn't just any aircraft, it's the COMAC C919, China's bold answer to the Boeing 737 and Airbus A320, two giants that have long dominated global skies. At first glance, the C919 looks like any modern commercial jet: streamlined body, elegant wings, and high-performance engines. It represents a monumental step in China's aviation ambitions, not just as a regional power but as a potential global competitor. The aircraft is built with some of the most advanced and trusted components in the aerospace industry. Its engines are the LEAP 1C, co-developed by General Electric from the United States and Safran from France. Its avionics come from Honeywell, another stalwart of American aerospace technology. Landing gear systems, built by Collins Aerospace. Even the tires are from Michelin. Every major system in the C919 is backed by companies with long-standing reputations and certifications from Western aviation regulators. And yet, despite this high pedigree, despite playing by every international rule in the book, the C919 remains grounded outside China, not because of safety concerns, not because of faulty systems, and not because of failed inspections. Instead, it's bureaucratic red tape, or so it appears. The European Union Aviation Safety Agency, EASA, recently announced that it would delay certifying the aircraft for international operations by an estimated 3 to 6 years. That delay is not a technicality. For COMAC, it's a massive roadblock. Q. The predictable headlines. Certain U.S. media outlets wasted no time in mocking the jet who would buy it anyway. What's the point? These sentiments suggest that the C919 is destined to remain an irrelevant local curiosity. But that's not the story. The real issue isn't about technical paperwork or regulatory bottlenecks, it's about leverage, geopolitical influence, and a deeply entrenched aviation hierarchy being challenged in real time. And China's response to this unexpected hurdle is not playing out the way critics predicted. To fully understand what's at stake, one must grasp the significance of aircraft certification. In aviation, certification isn't just a regulatory formality, it's everything. A type certificate is essentially a passport for planes. An official declaration by a country's aviation authority that an aircraft is safe to fly. Without it, commercial aircraft cannot operate on international routes. No certificate means no global flights, no export potential, no cross-border leasing agreements, and no real market. It's like building a race car and being told you can only drive it in your backyard. Now here's where the global power dynamics come into play. In the aviation world, two regulators dominate: the U.S. Federal Aviation Administration, FAA, and EASA. These two agencies are the de facto gatekeepers of the skies. Their certifications are so authoritative that many other nations simply defer to their judgment. If the FAA or EASA gives the green light, dozens of other countries follow suit. China has understood this reality for years. In 2019, Beijing and the European Union signed a bilateral aviation safety agreement designed to facilitate mutual recognition of certification standards. The thinking was simple: if China builds a plane that meets EASA standards, it should be certified accordingly. China even went the extra mile, designing the C919 using Western-made components with global track records, anticipating that this would smooth the certification process. Every decision seemed calculated to meet international expectations. No shortcuts, no strange proprietary systems, just a globally acceptable aircraft. Yet here we are, with Europe delaying approval, and no clear reason that aligns with the initial rules China agreed to follow. So, what's the holdup? Let's examine the C919 more closely. This is not a shoddy domestic project built in haste. It's a carefully crafted commercial jet using globally trusted technology. The LEAP 1C engines used in the C919 are already certified by both the FAA and EASA. Power the Airbus A320neo, one of the world's best-selling jets. The control systems: Honeywell. The radar: Rockwell Collins. Fuel systems: Parker Hannifin. Every component has a legacy of reliability and certification. Even the tires are sourced from Michelin. The aircraft is essentially a collection of globally vetted parts, assembled to meet international standards. So why does the final product face such scrutiny? It's like assembling a smartphone from certified parts: a Qualcomm processor, a Samsung display, a Sony camera, only to be told the finished phone still needs years of extra inspection simply because it's not made by Apple or Samsung. That's the contradiction COMAC and Chinese aviation officials are confronting. To them, it feels less like quality control and more like protectionism. On the surface, EASA maintains that each aircraft must be evaluated holistically, even if its parts are individually certified. That's a valid point. Systems must work together seamlessly, especially in aviation. But when zoomed out, this rationale starts to look suspiciously convenient. This isn't the first time China has followed international rules, only to see the rules shift midway. Take space cooperation as a parallel example. In 2014, China and the European Space Agency ESA agreed on joint deep space missions. European astronauts, even trained in China, learned Mandarin and prepared for possible missions aboard China's space station. Then in 2023, EASA abruptly backed out, citing vague political concerns and financial limitations. Years of preparation discarded with no clear justification. Or look at the Galileo satellite navigation project. In the early 2000s, China invested heavily in Europe's answer to GPS. But under mounting US pressure, China was sidelined. The result? China built Beidou, its own satellite navigation system, now a legitimate global rival to GPS and Galileo alike. This pattern repeats itself. China plays the game, follows the rules, invests time and resources only for the rules to be reinterpreted when success seems imminent. In commercial aviation, this is particularly significant. The industry has long been a duopoly between Boeing and Airbus, controlling over 90% of the global market. For decades they have faced little challenge. But now, COMAC, backed by the world's second-largest economy and a robust industrial base, presents a real alternative. For the first time, the duopoly feels the heat. And in this context, the delay in certifying the C919 starts to look like something other than regulatory caution. It starts to look like a tactical move to protect entrenched interests. Let's tackle another common criticism. Who would even buy the C919? The short answer: a lot of people. Even without international certification, China itself offers a massive market. According to the International Air Transport Association, China is projected to become the world's largest aviation market by 2042, with a demand for over 9,000 new aircraft. That's nearly a quarter of global demand. COMAC doesn't need to conquer the world, it just needs a share of its own market to succeed, and success is already underway. Chinese airlines have placed hundreds of orders for the C919, ensuring a robust domestic future. But the ambition doesn't stop at China's borders. Several Southeast Asian countries, including Malaysia, Indonesia, and Vietnam, have shown interest in the C919. Many of these countries are part of China's Belt and Road Initiative and are increasingly open to recognizing Chinese aviation standards in place of Western benchmarks. Now let's talk about Airbus, often painted as the victim in this emerging rivalry. In reality, Airbus could stand to lose significantly if China rethinks its aviation partnerships. Since 2006, China has bought more planes from Airbus than from Boeing. There are over 2,200 Airbus aircraft flying in Chinese skies today, making up more than half of the country's civil aviation fleet. Airbus even manufactures aircraft in China at its Tianjin plant.